a few family members, close family members of mine actually suffered from chronic illnesses, and I obviously saw that growing up, so it had an impact on me as a young person. I recognized fairly early that the clinical trials process is a very important part of kind of bringing drugs that change the lives of patients, into the therapy area. And without that drug development process, there's no kind of advancements in how we treat these patients who are suffering with life-changing illnesses. It's exceptionally important to select the most appropriate patient populations, and anything that could potentially delay the trial could potentially delay access to those life-changing treatments for patients, and would also potentially reduce the commercialization window for our customers. So there's a dual effect there. One of the things that we have struggled with as a team is looking at multiple countries simultaneously, trying to establish the reimbursement landscape. It's a very nuanced undertaking. It involved looking at multiple different government websites at the local level, trying to establish the reimbursement for a single drug for a single indication, which is an essential first step in pretty much every single undertaking of establishing the standard of care. It would take between 15 to 20 minutes per country. It was a very, very manual search from our side. Sometimes we would have to translate this, sometimes automatically, sometimes manually. Then we have to double check it against local medical guidelines, meaning that for that single drug, it could be taking us up to 12 hours to establish this, which is the work of 2 analysts for 2.5 days. As things are today, I can search multiple countries, indications, drugs, all at the same time. For a wide range of countries, it will take me less than an hour, or one of my team less than an hour, and I can download all of this information into an Excel spreadsheet. It's pretty easy to read across. We of course still perform due diligence. We check across the individual sites, but the level of accuracy is high, and this gives us confidence, and it has increased our output, our throughput as a team dramatically. We had an example recently where we were working on behalf of our feasibility team to identify the standard of care for melanoma in a number of different countries. And now within the TrialHub platform, I'm able to simply just type melanoma, and it will bring me up a list of search results. And depending on my interest, in this case, it's standard of care and reimbursement, I'm able to select that from the standard of care landscape down here. So from here we're able to see which drugs are being reimbursed in which countries in a really clear and accessible format, just a yes/no format. You're also able to see here pretty quickly if there are any kind of restrictions in play for these individual drugs for the melanoma indication. You can also select a different view, a grid view, whereby you can look at the individual drugs that are being reimbursed for melanoma at the country level. Something that we often do is we export the results into an Excel, and within the Excel you'll be able to see at the dose, strength, and also package level the individual reimbursement suggestions that are being offered by country, and this is very, very useful for us and very time saving. I'm also able to establish at the country level whether or not there are any restrictions in play with regards to the reimbursement, whether it's being reimbursed for a particular subpopulation. This really improved my awareness in terms of the availability of treatments for this indication across all of these countries. This is definitely not something that I would be able to do this quickly. without access to TrialHub.